bomb. But we don't have time for that now because we're going to get into this game. In the bottom right corner on Fighting Spirit. Oh yes, please. In the pink color, I'm just going to say pink now. It is Scaphism.
And on the bottom left side, we have the red Zerg player, KSW.
Indeed we do, and he's currently on the brink of elimination. If he loses one more game, he's out of this tournament, to which he was a favorite of winning, actually. Him or BCQ, I say, were the two favorites to this tournament. So, it's a very interesting turn of events here.
There are other players which if they had won, if they would win the tournament, I wouldn't really be that surprised, because the tournament is full of really scary players.
It's like, it's really, everyone is so good. Like, there's no one in this tournament that you could like, this person is clearly like not gonna make it. Like, it's so stacked. And unfortunately, Balthasar was also qualified for this tournament, but he couldn't play tomorrow, so he didn't want to like play today and then make it top 4 and then just leave and have like a top 3, which would be really weird. So that's unfortunate. So Beastie Cutie replaced him, as he was the next person with a number of ladder credits. Okay, this is getting complicated, but since we have some dead time now, let me explain. So there's been 3 qualifiers for this tournament, and depending on your on how you finish in those qualifiers, you get certain ladder credits, we call them this time. And so that means if you play in all qualifiers and you place high in all of them, you get a higher chance to get into this tournament. So we had a long list of players and all their ladder credits, and the top 8 was coming here, and BCQD was number 9 on that list. And since one of those 8 players had to withdraw before the tournament, then he got pulled in as a replacement.
So, let's talk a little bit about the game.
You're like, sorry, I'm like, you're like waiting, like, is he done? Is he done? Okay, I think he's done.
That's okay, I wasn't listening. I mean, I know all of this stuff, so...
Yeah, it's just, I know. So in the south, sorry, you were saying...
Yeah, I was saying, Scaphism is going for another fast expansion builds, which really has been the dominating way to play in Town vs. Zerg in Stabo. Partly because of overcharge and oh, actually bunker block, but that isn't going to do much.
It's not a block, it's a rush. But where's that marine? There's no marines on the way, are there?
It's only scary, like he just wants to scare.
Oh, he didn't finish it, so he can cancel it, and then it's actually blocking mining. Not really a lot though, because you can't have that many workers there this early in the stage, but that's kind of a funny bunker, to be honest. But it's very interesting that Scaphism is making that command center on the low ground. He's not scared of his opponent rushing for circlings, like we've seen Byleth kind of punish that, and he was a little bit scared last game where he put it on the high ground.
So I did see he's getting speed, so he chose on a bunker, and yeah, from this point on, we will see what he's deciding to do, either mech or Boyo, which both is viable against Zerg, but on Fighting Spirit I would favor Boyo play more, just because it's an open map.
And mech has proven to be quite difficult to pull off these days, especially if the map is... Ooh, one of those is there. Especially if the map is not very mech favored. Like Destination or Noah's Ark, you can definitely get away with mech, but any other maps, maybe Texas too. But most of the other maps is very difficult.
KSW is getting a lot of circlings. He might just try and surround this bunker. He's going for it. He's surrounding this bunker. And really get it. Late SCV pull, late reaction time, and gets bunker. But yeah, not enough circlings. Will they get into the base?
No. Race the supply depots.
No race supply depots. Still being annoying in the main base, but not doing the damage I expected to see, to be honest.
No, that was, you know, those SCVs did a good job, but he did get that bunker, which is quite huge, and I'm feeling that KSW is like, you know what, Byleth beat me with this stuff, so maybe I should try the same.
There are more circlings rallying.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Really a lot of circlings, and he's still producing circlings, 6 more in the production tab. So he really plays aggressive against Scaphism.
He's actually gonna go for it.
No, supply depot. No, it's the supply depot. Okay, tries to surround the marines, gets the marines surrounded. And I think he has to raise his supply depot. There's no way he can hold this.
Oh, just at the last second. Scaphism,
No,
the king of clutch.
to repair. Okay, he gets a fire bat, but it can't
so
do it.
fat. It can't get anywhere. Oh, they're both just really wanting to shoot, but they just can't.
It's too far away.
That awkward moment when the fire bat is trying to shoot. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, he just pulled back. That's a lot of Zerglings. That's so many Zerglings. I was gonna say he can go for a Baneling bus, but he really can't because Banelings don't do anything to buildings, except make them. Actually, it makes the Zerglings shoot them down faster.
It would perhaps work if all the Marines stand behind the, but they don't start with speed. I don't think it would be viable.
Yeah, true. They're so slow and clunky. So Scaphism has saved his natural orbital, but he did lose basically all of his mining. They're actually very equal in worker. KSW now adding a lot of drones, and he's adding a layer. He started his evolution chamber. This is definitely not an all-in. He's got a third base up. How can he afford that many Zerglings and still go for such an economic focused build? That blows my mind.
Well, he killed 10 CVs, so
Well, I guess that helps.
that helps.
But like, if I had gone for this many Zerglings, I would not have a third base. I would not have layer on the way, and I would not have 31 workers. That's crazy. 30. Did he just lose a worker?
But on the other hand, you are not Korean, so quite understandable.
That's true. Race is an important matter in this discussion. So Scaphism is just gonna churn out as many Marines as possible. He has an engineering bay in case he spots for some mutalisks. He hasn't really seen much, and I think the mutalisks will be incoming shortly.
I don't think Scaphism should push out, not with this natural that wide open.
But I don't know if he knows how many Zerglings there actually were, because the last bunch of Zerglings never really attacked. Like, he saw a lot of them, but he didn't see like all of them, I think. So
okay, push across the map.
Oh, I like this one Marine checking for.
Oh, wow.
That's an important Marine.
That's the Marine that
even saves him.
Yeah.
He should be saving him. He earned it.
And he's just chase. I don't know what he's doing with his army. He should not chase like Zerglings across the map. That's a bad choice. Oh, he sees the Zerglings. He still decides to push, and he's all at the last second.
He's very indecisive. Okay, now he's finally coming back.
Okay. No.
Oh, they're gonna go through. Oh, it would have been a really good sandwich, but they did go through. But now it's gonna be sandwiched here.
Yeah, no, it's. Nah.
That was actually not too bad from Scaphism.
Yeah, he trapped these Zerglings in there, threw down the wall, and now I think Scaphism is ahead. Yes, he may not have the economy, but he definitely has the army supply to put on some pressure. But there are so many spine crawlers, my god! And Tyvis.
This stream is brought to you by my wife sneezing. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
And he already has 5 on the way. And he's completely skipping siege tanks, I believe. I believe he's going to go straight into science vessels.
KSW is completely skipping lurkers and mutas. I guess it's gonna go straight into Defiler Ultralisk, or just maybe straight into Ultralisk on 3 base. I know the Red Bandit likes to do this, but he does like to get some. He usually gets some lurkers, I think. It's been a while since I've seen the Red Bandit play, and he's actually casting the same game over in his stream as well at this time.
Oh, wow, there's no way he can push the. Oh, he just runs past all the spine crawlers! Oh, wow.
It reminds me of like a really weird game, like, just run past the pokers, you'll be fine. And
he picks off this hatchery, he will pick it off most certainly.
There's the slow defense!
KSW doesn't have any units to deal with this. He has to rely on his spine. No, don't clump up the drones.
What?
Don't clump up all your drones.
I did not know you can speak that fast. That's an incredible skill to see. But he might just get this hatchery. Okay, he's gonna.
Yeah, he gets catch.
He's gonna transfuse it, but again, the transfuse is not enough, and it's gonna go down.
And he may even get out of here alive with a chunk of his marines. Oh wow. Oh wow.
I just can't imagine the horrible death it would be to have a spine crawler poke you in the face. Just suddenly just blunk. Oh, it just looks so brutal.
Do you think a sunken would be nice though? Like
no, sunken comes up from below, so I guess it's even worse.
Yeah, it just hits you in the nuts.
Yeah, it just...
That
it's-
hurts.
Came from below.
yes. It doesn't even have like any manners. Oh, this group of Marines are just gonna die. Here comes the Zerglings. Oh, but they're gonna be backed up by another groups. Okay, finally, okay, Ultralisk Cavern on the way, but I think KSW got too much economic punishment from being able to pull this build off. Scaphism really has map control now, and I kind of think you should try and take a third base instead of pushing all the time.
It takes a fourth KSW, which is Spice, because Scaphism, his force is really small, and he devotes all of his army to put on pressure against KSW, who has a bajillion spine crawlers to defend. So I don't believe that he will do anything happen more than killing the third base. He should really be expanding, which gives KSW enough time to get his Ultralisk, and he's already researching +2 armor for those Ultralisks.
That chitinous plating. Oh, catching a nice small group of Marines out in the field. KSW is. Scaphism again is going to try to save them, but loses no more Marines at this time. We're going to see Scaphism adding on a lot of extra barracks. He's going to go for Siege Tank with Siege Tech.
I am really worried though, because he doesn't get a second engineering bay or is researching any upgrades.
Oh, Scaphism needs to close the supply depot wall, and he's not, and he might just snag a couple of Siege Tanks for his efforts.
Yep, 2 siege tanks go down, another siege tank goes down.
Oh, that's so nice, especially when there's Ultralists on the way. That
And these are cracklings. Well, let me remind you, they just annihilate Marines. And yeah, he has... Oh, there's a drop at the natural.
There is a drop at natural. It's gonna get deflected again, and also Scaphism did find that one base of KSW, but he's losing so much production in the meantime. Every rallied Marine for a long time there just got annihilated by cracklings. And the Zergling is gonna follow these SCVs and find the third base of Scaphism, which he's making into an orbital. Oddly enough, I think a planetary would have been a little bit safer.
Okay, another drop, but KSW is just going to ignore it. He's just going straight for the kill against Scaphism. And Scaphism doesn't have a wall or anything to defend against it. All his army is on the top left. He's completely out of position to deal with this, and this might just kill him.
Wow.
Right then and there.
KSW with a crazy straight into Ultras of 3 base build, and it's working. Catching Scaphism completely off guard with his army on the other side of the map. And I think this might be it. He's gonna try and move his army back.
She's going crazy, Zerg. Oh god, straight into crackling Ultra. God, I remember this BW build.
It is a BW build indeed. Just skipping Muta Lurker entirely, just taking up like crazy. And 5 Ultralists, I can count still. 5 Ultralists in the main base of Scaphism just wreaking havoc. And it worked.
Okay, now the forces are finally coming across the map to deal with this. But here in comes, like, these Ultralisk have 5 armor.
GG.
They are